These people are amongst the greatest quiz players in Britain. Together, they make up the Eggheads, arguably the most formidable quiz team in the country. The question is, can they be beaten? Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. Here they are, the Eggheads. You ready to quiz with some bells on?
Absolutely.
Very good. Because taking on the might of our quiz Goliaths today are the Vandals of Bathampton from North Somerset. Now, this team are all members of the Bathampton Morris Men. Let's meet them.
Hello, my name's Richard and I'm a retired chartered surveyor.
Hi, I'm Steve and I'm a university technician.
Hello, my name's Tom and I'm a university lecturer.
Hello, my name's Paul and I'm a retired accountant.
G'day, my name is Stephen and I'm an international education consultant.
Richard and team, hello.
Hello.
Great to see you, Richard, and fantastic outfits today.
Yeah, well, we're all members of Bathampton Morris Men. We were founded in 1934 in Bathampton by Mrs. Oakey. She was a teacher at the primary school. She kept the young boys, taught them to dance, and they kept doing it. So we've been dancing for over 80 years now as a side.
Wonderful. And any of you been in it all the time? No, obviously not. Not so. What, you've got the word Vandals in your team title, though.
One of the dances we do is called the Vandals of Hammerwich. And we thought we'd do this as a tribute.
Homage.
Homage to that particular dance, yes.
The homage to the Vandals.
Yes.
And so you're hoping to set about this lot with, well, you brought your sticks along?
We have.
OK, that might be handy in the science and geography rounds. OK, I'm feeling like we need to see some dancing, but the desk prevents. So maybe you can dance through the medium of quiz.
Let's hope so.
Good luck, challengers. Every day there is £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs. However, if the challengers fail to defeat the Eggheads, that prize money rolls over to our next show. Vandals of Bathampton. Here is the thing. The Eggheads are on a proper roll. They've won the last 10 games. Ouch. Well, it's good, isn't it? Because it means there's £11,000 for you to win.
Wow.
Would you like to try?
Yes, please.
You would.
Excellent. The first head-to-head battle is on the subject of film and TV. And it's one of you against either Judith, Kevin, Pat, Beth or Dave.
Film and TV, chaps. I think that rules me out.
That was me, wasn't it? Unfortunately, yeah.
Captain's
Do
role,
you
yeah.
think that's a challenge?
I'd pick Judith, I think.
You think?
I
Or
think
Kevin?
Oh, up to you eventually, you're in charge.
What do you think, Richard?
I will challenge Judith.
OK, fine. So Richard, from the Vandals of Bathampton, is taking on Judith right away.
That is good.
Good with you, Judith?
Yeah.
Excellent. To ensure there's no conferring, would you both please now take your positions in our legendary question room? Film and TV, Richard, would you like to go first or second against Judith?
I will go first, please, Jeremy.
And here is your first question. Which of these channels was first to be broadcast on British televisions? BBC Two, Channel 4 or Channel 5?
Well, I think Channel 4 and Channel 5 are fairly late incomers, commercial stations. So I will go with BBC Two.
BBC Two is quite right. Well done. Judith. On receiving an Oscar for Best Director in 1998, which film director shouted, "I'm the king of the world"? James Cameron, Steven Spielberg or Martin Scorsese?
1998.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm missing something, obviously. I'm missing an illusion, obviously. Steven Spielberg.
Oh, Judith. The illusion, I think, is it may have been a line in Titanic.
Oh, so James Cameron.
Sames Cameron.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
Oh, dear, oh, dear,
dear.
oh, dear. We've got water in the engine room again, Judith.
Yes, I have, and I saw Titanic.
Of course you have. Well, this is going well for your team, Richard.
So far, so good, yes.
Here's your second question. Who plays the title character in the 2011 action film The Mechanic and its sequel, The Mechanic Resurrection? Is this Jason Statham, Sylvester Stallone or Jeremy Renner?
I don't think it's Sylvester Stallone. He's, no, he would be too old by then. I'm not sure about Jeremy Renner, but Jason Statham is a big star, so I'm going to go for him. Jason Statham.
Jason Statham is quite right. Well done, 2 out of 2. OK, you need to get this right, Judith.
I know.
Otherwise, it's going to be a very rapid dispatch.
It is.
Here we go. In 2015, Louis Theroux made a feature-length documentary film about which religious group? Judith, was it the Mormons, Scientologists, or Jehovah's Witnesses?
Oh, yes. I think that was the Scientologists.
It was the Scientologists.
Yeah.
Well done. You're off the mark. But Richard, you can take the round with this question. In The Simpsons, Marge's sisters, Patty and Selma, are revealed to be huge fans of which 1980s action-adventure series? Knight Rider, MacGyver, or Automan?
I don't really know this one, but knowing The Simpsons a little bit, I can't imagine that they'd be great fans of MacGyver and Automan, so I'm going to go for Knight Rider.
MacGyver is the answer. This gives Judith a way back in. You need to get this right, Judith. The US TV series Boardwalk Empire is loosely based on a book by which author? Nelson Johnson, John Grisham, or Matt Bondurant?
I've never seen it, but I've heard of it. Oh, dear me, I don't know the author. John Grisham.
No, not John Grisham. Eggheads?
Nelson Johnson.
Nelson Johnson, says Kevin. Nelson Johnson is the answer. Judith, you've been knocked out. Well done. Richard! Hey! The bells are working here. You've taken on an egghead and you've emerged triumphant, so that's a first scalp to the Vandals. Please return to us. We'll play on. Good start for our Morris dancers. The Vandals of Barthampton have not lost a brain. They've knocked out Judith. The Eggheads are quaking now. £11,000 we're playing for. Stakes are high, guys. Yeah. Well done, team captain. So, the next subject is music. Who wants this?
Music.
Who did we discuss for this?
Was that me?
I think it was Steve first or me as the overlap, but I think it was Steve.
Yeah, I think it's
Okay,
Coons,
and
the
who
Melmeister.
do we
Steve,
want to
okay.
take on?
Play us the tune, Steve.
What do you think?
Well, you're the great tactician.
Pat or Dave, I think. Pat.
Pat.
Yeah.
Going for Pat.
Going for Pat.
Go for
Said with a great sense of purpose here. Steve from the Vandals of Barthampton to take on the great Pat from the Eggheads. Please take your positions now. Steve, you've quizzed before.
Yes, at work and for a local pub.
Any notable moments?
Well, quite a few years ago now, I won a beach towel. I can't say that it was for first prize, but I'm still using that towel today.
Oh, you've never done that, Pat. You've never won a beach towel?
No, I haven't. No. It rankles, but that's the way it's gone.
We won't mention his £1 million. OK, Steve, would you like to go first or second on music?
I'll go first, please.
Here we go with your first question. Lance Bass and Joey Fatone were original members of which boy band formed in the 1990s? NSYNC, Take That, or Backstreet Boys?
Well, I can rule out Take That straight away, but then I think it's going to have to be 50-50 between NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. I've got leaning towards Backstreet Boys.
Let's see if Pat knows, Pat.
I think it's NSYNC.
NSYNC is the answer. Sorry, Steve. Pat, over to you. What is the occupation of Lovely Rita in the Beatles song of the same name that appears on Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band? Is Rita a district nurse, a dinner lady, or meter maid?
I think it's Lovely Rita, meter maid. Meter maid.
Yeah, nothing can come between us. Meter maid is right. Steve, at the 2015 Glastonbury Festival, which artist memorably told the crowd, "You are now watching the greatest living rock star on the planet"? Is it Kanye West, Eminem, or Beyoncé?
I don't think any of them are noted for being particularly shy, but I think of those, it was Kanye West.
Kanye West is right. Well done. Pat, which of these composers was still alive at the beginning of the 21st century? Benjamin Britten, Philip Glass, or Dmitri Shostakovich? So the beginning of the 21st century.
21st century. That's Philip Glass.
Yes, Philip Glass. What sort of age was he going into the millennium?
Going into the millennium,
Yeah.
what would he'd have been about 60 to 65 then?
Philip Glass is right. Now that means, Steve, because he's played a perfect round so far, you need to get this one right to stay in. Which of these musical notes lasts the longest? Minim, crotchet, or semi-breve?
course, if I saw them written down on the music paper, that would be easy. Depends how many little bars they have attached to their up or down stroke. Minim, crotchet, semi-breve, I think, is quite small. Crotchet, minim. I'm going to go for minim.
No. Or is it?
Let's check with the Morris men here. Do you know?
Bit of a difference of an opinion here.
Yeah.
We're talking about semi-breves here, Jeremy.
Yeah, you're thinking semi-brief. The answer is semi-brief. Actually, Steve, sorry, I know if you'd seen it on the page, you would have got it, I'm sure. So we say well done, Pat. Pat's in the final round, although he has never won a beach towel in a quiz. You'll always have that, Steve. Come back to us. We're going to play round 3. So, as it stands, the Vandals of Barthampton have lost the brain from the final round now. The Eggheads have lost 1-2. It's perfectly level as we go into our 3rd round, and the subject is history. Richard, who's doing this? History.
Who are we going to do?
Stephen, isn't it?
It was Steve. Yes,
Stephen
it might well be.
I'll take it if you like.
Yeah.
I'll take
Go
it.
for it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take it, Jeremy.
Stephen, our international education consultant.
Go against.
Against, it could be either Dave or Beth or Kevin.
Beth, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Beth, if I may.
Okay, the nearest to the Eggheads there. Stephen from the Vandals of Barthampton to play Beth on history. From the Eggheads, please take your positions. History, Stephen, would you like to go first or second against Beth?
I'm going to go first, please, Jeremy.
Okay, good luck. Here we go. Which of these was built in the 1st century AD? The Colosseum at Rome, the Pyramids of Giza, or the Hanging Gardens of Babylon?
Well, I can't say with any certainty on those 3. Colosseum at Rome I've been to, the others I haven't. Babylon sort of sounds to me as though it's been around a bit longer than most things. I'm going to go for the Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
I think maybe Giza and Babylon were back in prehistory. What do you think, Beth?
Yeah, the pyramids of Giza are about 4,000 years old, something like that.
Right. And anyone, Eggheads here, know the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, history of those?
Well, there's a lot of mythology to do with those, but we're sort of going back to about the 6th, 7th century BC.
It's the Colosseum at Rome, Stephen.
OK, thank you.
Beth, your question. In which modern-day country is the city where the October Revolution of 1917 took place? Russia, China, or USA?
In 1917, there was a revolution in Russia.
Russia is quite right. Stephen, in British history, what was the name of the monarch who ruled jointly with her husband from 1689 until her death in 1694? Is it Mary, Anne, or Elizabeth?
I'm reckoning it wasn't Elizabeth, so I'm going to toss a coin between Mary and Anne, and I'm going to go for Mary.
Let's check with the challengers. Challengers?
Yes.
And the king in question was?
William and Mary.
William. So it was William and Mary. Mary's right. Still in there. Beth, your question. Which palace in Istanbul served as the residence of the Ottoman sultans from the 15th until the 19th centuries? Is it the Palace of Knossos, Topkapi Palace, or Winter Palace?
The Palace of Knossos is in Crete, and the Winter Palace is in St. Petersburg, I think, but the Topkapi Palace is in Istanbul.
Topkapi Palace is quite right, Beth. Well done. Good quizzing. Okay, so 2 to Beth and 1 to you. Stephen, you must get this one right to stay in. Which Dutch explorer is remembered for his discovery of large parts of Australasia? Olivier van Noort, Willem Barents, or Abel Tasman?
Well, I probably should know the answer to this, having lived in Australasia for just the 16 years, and I'm going to go for Abel Tasman.
Yeah, you're right. Abel Tasman it is. You're in Australia, were you? Or
New Zealand largely, but Australia, Melbourne for a couple of years, within 15 of New Zealand, yeah.
Wonderful. Abel Tasman, from whom we get Tasmania, I'm guessing.
Indeed.
Okay, so level, but Beth, you have a chance here to take the round on your 3rd question. In which year is Queen Victoria reputed to have said, "We are not interested in the possibilities of defeat, they do not exist"? 1859, 1879, or 1899?
I'm trying to think of what this possibly might be related to. I'm wondering whether it's something to do with the Boer Wars. It's not a quote I'm familiar with, but I'm drawn to one. I'm going to go with 1879.
1879 is your answer. But you were thinking Boer War in 99 and you drifted off?
Yeah.
You should have stayed with
I should have
1899.
stayed with it.
For all the reasons you said?
Yeah.
1899, it was to do with the Boer
Yeah,
War.
got me wars muddled up.
Yeah, so it's not 1879 and it means we go to sudden death because we're level after 3 questions. How about that, Stephen?
Yes, I'm happy with that at the moment. Probably above all expectation.
All right, let's see how you do here. We're on history, we're on sudden death, and it's a bit harder because it's not multiple choice. Stephen, your question. In which century did John Blenkinsop design what has been described as the first practical steam railway locomotive?
I'm going to go with the 19th century, Jeremy.
19th is quite right. Beth, to stay in, which flower was the emblem of the royal houses of Lancaster and York?
Them together was a Tudor rose.
Rose is right. Stephen, sudden death. Your question. Which country, a potential bridgehead for military expansion into the Balkans, did Italy invade and occupy in 1939?
I'm not convinced this answer's correct necessarily, but I'm going to go for Greece.
No, Albania. Beth, between 1867 and the end of World War I, the so-called dual monarchy was a constitutional arrangement whereby which 2 countries, one an empire and one a kingdom, shared a ruler.
One that would fit. Let's go with Austria and Hungary.
Austria and Hungary is the right answer, Beth. Well done. You're through to the final. Stephen, you've been knocked out there by our egghead. And if you return to us, we'll play one more round before the final. So the Vandals of Bathampton have lost 2 brains now from the final round. The Eggheads have lost just the 1. And the next subject, the last before the final, is arts and books. Who would like this?
Shall I take that one?
I think
if you could,
very
Tom,
good choice.
Well done, Tom.
I'll take that one.
OK, Tom, university lecturer. Against which egghead? And you can have either Kevin or Dave.
Dave?
Dave?
Yeah, Dave, we're going to go with you.
Very good. Tom, from the Vandals versus Dave from the Eggheads. Please, for the last time, go to our question room. Tom, I gather Prince Charles pours milk on your cereal.
Well, he did once when we were at Naval College. He come and sat right opposite me when we were having breakfast. It was amazing. The breakfast cereal selection trebled when he was in the college.
So he's not been doing this regularly, it was just a one-off occasion?
No, we're not the best of chums, but I'm sure he remembers it with the same fondness that I do.
It's a very good story. So arts and books, and Tom, would you like to go first or second?
I think I'm going to differ from my colleagues, and I'm going to go second, please, Jeremy.
So the first question to Dave. In the 1001 Nights, the cave hiding the loot of the 40 thieves can only be accessed with which verbal command? Open sesame, Shazam, or abracadabra?
I think that's open sesame.
Open sesame is correct. Over to you, Tom. Which of these major art movements came first? Cubism, pop art, or Impressionism?
Well, pop art, of course, was the 1960s and thereabouts. Cubism was espoused, amongst others, by Picasso at the beginning of the 20th century, and Impressionism became part of the scene from the late 19th century onwards. So it's Impressionism, Jeremy.
I love your answer. Impressionism's quite right. I think we might have a quizzer here, Dave.
Yes, we do.
A 1983 novel by Dick King-Smith telling the story of a girl who can make wishes using a magic coin is titled The Queen's what? Eyes, nose, or mouth?
A magic coin. I've not heard of this novel at all. The one that sounds best is The Queen's Eyes, but it could be any of them. Queen's Eyes, please.
No, it's The Queen's Nose.
Never heard of it.
So back to you, Tom. Did you know that, Tom?
Perhaps I'm not going to confess. All right, then, I didn't.
Keep him guessing. Here's your question to take the lead. Which of these Shakespeare plays is based on accounts of real historical figures? Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, or Measure for Measure?
Well, Romeo and Juliet, we know they had full names. We know where they were based. Macbeth, where the place upon the heath, there to meet with Macbeth. I think there's a lot of fiction there, so I'm going to go for measure for measure.
Oh, how interesting. You veered away from the right answer. Macbeth is the answer.
Oh, on the heath.
Yeah, real kings, real people it was based on. Macbeth. Dave, you can take the lead with this. Laurent Binet's 2010 debut novel, HHHH, tells the story of the assassination of which Nazi leader? And the H is, let me tell you, it's capital H, small h, capital H. Is it Reinhard Heydrich, Heinrich Himmler, or Rudolf Hess?
Well, my Nazi history's gone. No, this is bad for me. All right, I'm going to eliminate Hess. I'm trying to remember which one was assassinated. It could be Heydrich. I'm going to go Himmler, Heinrich Himmler, but again, I just couldn't get a handle on who was assassinated at the time.
Heinrich Himmler. Well, the H's suggest Himmler because there's 4 H's in the title, and he is Heinrich Himmler, but it's not the right answer. It's Reinhard Heydrich.
Yes, I thought it would be, yeah.
You thought it would be?
Yeah, well, just try to see who was assassinated. Yeah, it's my bad.
Okay.
No problem.
So, Tom, get this right, you're in the final round. Otherwise, we go to sudden death. Which fictional road is featured in the title of a 1751 painting by William Hogarth? Gin Lane, Rum Street, or Absinthe Row?
Well, Hogarth did a number of paintings and engravings which had a moralistic message. And I think one of the main messages he wanted to give was to fight against the excessive use of gin. So I think it was Gin Lane.
Brilliant answer. Gin Lane is quite right. You've taken the round from Dave. Sorry, Dave.
No problem.
There we go. Dave is knocked out. Tom is in the final. Come back to us, both of you, and we will play that final round for £11,000. This is what we have been playing towards. It is time for the final round. As always, it's general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So Steve and Stephen from the Vandals of Barthampton, and also Dave and Judith from the Eggheads, would you please now leave the studio? Richard, Tom and Paul, you're playing to win the Vandals of Barthampton £11,000. Big jackpot today. Beth, Pat and Kevin, you're playing for something that money can't buy, the Eggheads' reputation, and to keep this run going. As usual, I will ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time, they're all general knowledge. You are allowed to confer. So, Vandals of Barthampton, the question is, can your 3 brains defeat these 3? Simple as that. You've done really well to get it to 3-3. Would you like to go first or second now?
I think first. Yeah.
Yes.
We'd like to go first, please, Jeremy.
OK, here we go. General knowledge, your first question, challengers. Which major visitor attraction was opened in 2001 in Leicester? Was this the Eden Project, National Space Centre, or the Museum of Science and Industry?
Oh, I think it's the National Space Centre, isn't it?
Yes, I think so.
And Eden Project. It's in Cornwall.
Yeah. The Museum of Science and Industry, I don't think so, not Leicester. Oh, I think it's the National Space Centre.
Yes.
It's the National Space Centre, Jeremy.
National Space Centre is the right answer. Well done. Eggheads, your question. Which of these materials is produced using a man-made fibre? Is it Hessian, cotton, or polyester?
Polyester.
With
Lots of
polyester
esters.
then? Yeah, OK. We think that's polyester.
Polyester is correct. Back to the challenges. What word is used to describe a word or phrase that reads the same backwards as forwards?
Is that onomatopoeic?
Is it a palindrome, an antiphon, or a lipogram?
Same backwards as forwards. It's a palindrome, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure we even know what a lipogram is, but we're pretty sure we know what a palindrome is, and I think palindrome is the right answer.
Palindrome is right. So, yeah, like rats live on no evil star, my dad always used to tell me. Let's just check with the Eggheads. Lipogram?
It's a sentence or a sequence of words in which a particular letter is omitted, I think.
Omitted?
I think so. I think that's right.
OK, there we go. Palindrome is right. That's all that matters. 2 out of 2 so far. Well done. £11,000 we're playing for. This can go wrong very quickly, as the Eggheads know. Here is your question. Who was King of England from 1272 to 1307? Edward I, Richard I, or Henry I?
Edward I.
Yeah.
Okay. 1272 to 1307.
Correct.
Yeah, that was Edward the First.
Edward the First. I'm afraid Kevin can do those ones in his sleep, slightly. All right, 2-2. Get this right, and your work today may be done. Get this right, they get this wrong, you've won £11,000. You're playing well. Which hormone is produced by the pineal gland, mainly in the hours of darkness? Pineal is P-I-N-E-A-L. Melatonin, insulin, or gastrin?
Oh, I really
It's
don't
not
know.
insulin, is it? We know it's not insulin.
Well, melatonin is something you get from sunshine, isn't it?
Yes.
So it may not be melatonin. It's not insulin. So
But it might be that it's sensitive to light or lack of light, and it's sort of that points us towards
Gastrin with pointings.
so we think it might be.
gastrin. Gastrin is in the gastric juices.
Our thinking is that melatonin is something that happens when you're out in the sunshine. You get more of that. Insulin, we're pretty sure it can't be, so we're going to go for gastrin.
Ah,
It's melatonin.
your logic was working really well there because melatonin and sunlight, it's that relationship with light is the key thing here. And it is, well, Beth will know this, is melatonin sleep related?
It is sleep related. I think you may be confused with melanin, which is the one that's produced, which is what you've got in your skin.
Ah, that's what
to do
makes
with
you
sun-
brown, right.
Which makes you brown. Yeah, melatonin is to do with sleep regulation, if you want the other two. Insulin is to do with sugar, produced by pancreas, and gastrin is a gut hormone, so it's to do with gut regulation.
Melatonin is the answer. Sleep regulation is what it does. So you've left the Eggheads with a way of winning the contest on this one question. What is the first name of the Mr. Davis after whom tennis's Davis Cup is named? Is it Dwight, Samuel, or Godfrey?
Dwight.
Oh,
Dwight as well.
Dwight Davis. Because
Samuel
it's
Ryder.
Samuel Ryder and Godfrey something else, but I'm pretty sure it's Dwight.
okay, yeah.
Okay. He was Dwight Davis.
He was Dwight Davis, you say. If you are right, the contest is over. Challengers today playing for £11,000. They've done well to get through in the final. Mr. Davis's first name was Dwight. We say congratulations, Eggheads. You have won. I'm sorry, Vandals of Barthampton. You give them a little way in.
Yeah.
They take it. And I thought you were heading for melatonin there, I must say.
Yes. Should have stuck with that there. You
I
are.
visited it.
You sort of stopped on melatonin and then went to gastrin suddenly.
Gastrin. There we are.
There we go. There
It's
we
been
go.
great fun.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Well, thanks for also the outfits. There aren't enough colourful outfits from our challengers, and you did it today, that's for sure. Commiserations, Vandals of Barthampton. But the Eggheads have done what comes naturally to them, and your winning streak continues. It does mean you're not going home with the £11,000. So we'll take that money and we'll roll it over to our next show. Eggheads, very well done. Can you be beaten? Join us next time to see if a new team of challengers have the brains to do it. There'll be £12,000 waiting for them here. Until then, goodbye.